Well, kia ora, everybody. Welcome to this special session of Tech Bytes. I'm Craig Young. I'm the CEO of 2Ants. And I'd just like to introduce the people that are going to do most of the talking this morning. Zoe, who's from our Wellington Flint team, and Katie from Christchurch. And of course, I probably don't need to introduce Sarah Hirini, but I will. I'll say a few words about her. Sarah's the captain of the incredibly successful Black Fern Sevens, who are world champions and now Olympic gold medalists. She is the first female player to bring up 200 games on the World Series and was a member of the 2017 15s World Cup champions as well. Outside of rugby, she's a New Zealand Order of Merit winner in 2019. And I thought this was the coolest one. She's the first Wahine Māori to be awarded the prestigious Tom French Memorial Māori Player of the Year, which is an amazing award. And she comes from my home area as well. So I'm from Palmerston North. I don't tell many people that, but I am from the Manawatu. So look, Sarah, I know your time's precious. Let's get right into it. Would you mind, not really that you need to, but a little bit about yourself and how you made the decision to take on leadership in such a high-profile team?
Yeah, kia ora everyone. It's good to be able to speak to you guys today. I obviously grew up in a really small rural town of Kimbolton in the Manawatu, and so wasn't around too many people until I went to boarding school. And then I suppose at boarding school met a lot of other students, met people who were like teachers who were pretty keen on people at the boarding school to go places, and so we were lucky enough to be around people who pushed us to make goals, wanting to achieve goals. And I think there's where I learned almost how to be a leader, how to understand other people around you, and help pay dividends in our team at the moment. So I don't think I ever really wanted to be a leader. I think it kind of just happened, and then have been having to learn about myself and other people ever since.
Cool. I guess that's me then, isn't it? Cool. So Tokyo was amazing. It was great to watch you sitting at home, but it wasn't just something that happened overnight. So what was something that you changed from Rio to Tokyo? What do you think you changed personally to kind of get you guys from silver to gold?
Yeah, there were a lot of things and a lot of team things that we changed, but I think individually, like I had to become or find who I was as a leader. And that was a really difficult process. Being in in Rio, I was 23, so really, really young still. And then having to learn and adapt to all the different personalities, ages, like rugby abilities in our team. And I think that's been like a really cool process. And I've found that asking for help, asking my other peers and players in the team for that help, but then also to get to know them as people. And it's been a really cool 5-year journey to Tokyo, but I think being able to just get to know the players in my team, having good relationships, understanding like where they come from, their family backgrounds, getting to know their families, it's helped with my leadership. And then I think on top of that too is really knowing myself as a rugby player and doing everything that I can. So when I turn up every day, like I know that I've done everything, so then I can actually give time to other people. So that's been a couple of learnings I've had from Rio and have taken into Tokyo, and I think it's worked pretty well.
Cool. I guess that's what creates a sisterhood, right? Cool.
Yeah, and everyone wants to get to know you. Like it's easy to say we've got a good culture and we're really close, but like that's a genuine thing for us, and we do connections. We've got like everyone's pretty much got like a special handshake with each other, management as well, and that's why our team's really connected, is because we take the time to actually be present with them.
Cool, thank you. And when I guess times are tough and you yourself might be feeling down and you see that your teammates are also feeling down, how do you as a leader not only kind of lift yourself out of that but also the people around you?
Yeah, that's that happens quite often in an environment like we've got. Obviously there's always selection, there's different pressures from different people, and I think that's really hard when you're in an environment that you really care about each other, but there's performance as well. And like for me, like I'm lucky I've got a really good support system. So I have a couple of really good friends, my husband, my sister, and my parents who have helped me be that release so I can work on myself outside of the rugby environment. And being able to lean on a couple of different people means that when I turn up, then I'm fully present and I can be myself. And it's easy, like I can be vulnerable in front of the girls, in front of the management team, because they've allowed this space to do that. And then it also means that I can then help others who are sometimes struggling, who need help with stuff on the field or off the field. And it just gives us a really cool, I suppose, environment, I suppose you'd call it, for people to like we don't have to be on all the time, and people can have down days, and I think that's really important. And it's like it can be talked about in a positive way. Like, yeah, that's probably the coolest thing about our team.
Cool, thank you.
On to me. Sorry, screwed up the transition there. Here I was getting distracted about like thinking about how that kind of applied to myself, and one of my questions later on is about wellbeing. But for now, we heard in your interview, your post-game interview, about kind of how the team is empowered by the coaches and everyone in the team. But is there something in there that you could share with young women? I mean, we've got a tech focus in our group, so a lot of young women coming up in tech perhaps don't feel as empowered as individuals, not having that sisterhood behind them.
Like, and I suppose that's like there's been a lot of challenges with that. Like, it's not easy and it takes time, and we're constantly learning different things, and especially about feeling empowered yourself. And in a sport like a typical stereotypical male sport, we're constantly getting that from in a negative way as well, from social media, from the public, from different kind of aspects. But I think like in our team we've got like a vision, and for us it was about leaving mana. And so for us it doesn't matter that we're a male or a female. We just do something that we really are passionate about and really love. And so I think if we were all on the same page with that, we've got a vision of leaving mana, then we've all got like a shared purpose, and it all means something different to each of us. And that's okay too, because for me it means that I can then influence the younger generation to want to do something that they're passionate about, and it doesn't have to them become a rugby player or a professional athlete or an Olympian. Like, they might be really passionate about drawing, and if I've encouraged them to do that, then like I know that I'm doing something really good. And I might not ever hear about that story, but it's really cool that that child has chosen to do that because of something they've seen us do. So I think for us, like as individuals, we've had to really find why we turn up every day, and then in turn then we talk about that. We talk about why we're here, and if I know someone else's why and they are doing something that doesn't align to that, then we can keep each other accountable that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool, that kind of leads into my next question. So in the tech industry, wahine are kind of less represented. Wahine are less likely to kind of go into technology as an industry and apply for roles as well. But not only wahine, but wahine that are kind of from the Māori and Pacifica groups. Do you have kind of any advice on, again, you know, you've just spoken about how, you know, it's a men's sport, you know, it's typically seen as in kind of male dominated industry. So do you have kind of any advice on how to encourage wahine to kind of, you know, get into the technology industry?
Yeah, like it's funny, since I was a kid I was a pretty stubborn person, but I've been, and I think of the things that I like doing. So as a kid I was I know how to sheep shear, like I did competition sheep shearing, which is kind of weird, but so similar, like a male dominant industry. Rugby, like I'm trying to become a pilot, obviously very similar kind of industry. So I don't know, for me, like I've always been in the sense of, if I love it and have a passion for it, then just go and do it. And I know that might sound really like, you're like, yep, that's really easy to say, but like that's what I'm probably trying to get across, is that like if you have a passion for it, just go and do it. Like it doesn't matter if you're going to be the first female or the first Māori. It means that you being the first means that someone else will come in and help you out. And like that's a really cool space to be in. And I think us as females tend to sit back and think, oh, maybe I'll just leave it for someone else, or maybe I'm not that qualified. But I guarantee you're probably 100 times more qualified than a male that will go for it. And I talk about this with my husband a lot. He's obviously really supportive of what I do. He will go for a job that he's not even qualified for and actually get because he's really confident in himself. And I'm probably the complete opposite. But if it is something that I'm really passionate about, then I'm like, you just got to go all in, and it will be scary. And you will probably sweat a lot and be really nervous, but it will work out. Like I promise you that. So as long as you're fully committed to just going and doing it, then yeah, it'll be awesome. And then I guarantee you more people will come and be like, I went and did this because you've done that. So yeah, I think it's a really cool space for any person or any female wanting to do something that, and any male going into a female dominated industry as well.
Oh, thank you. That's great.
Yeah, I'm loving. We've got another question about well-being, and in terms of as being the leader, how you kind of look after yourself first. I guess what I'm hearing so far is it's the same way you look after your team. You're all kind of there for each other. But is there anything specific that you like to do for yourself?
Yeah, heaps of stuff. I put a lot of emphasis in. To be honest, happy to spend a lot of money on my preparation and recovery, and that's a massive part. Like I went through, there was like I was going to be like 5 months ago, I lost my mum, and that was absolutely devastating for me. But I knew that I wanted to come back into our environment, and I knew that they would support whatever decision I made. They helped me out a lot, but for me, I had to take the time to actually look after myself, and I made decisions like very selfishly to make sure that I was, then when I came in, I could be the leader that they needed. And I think being a leader is really difficult at times because you're expected to be on all the time. You're expected to know everything that's going on, make accurate decisions, and pretty much not make mistakes. And like I've obviously made mistakes, and that's been okay. But so like I'm really diligent on being selfish with my time, being selfish with when I'm at home, that I'm at home with my husband and our dog, that like I set myself up so then I can be where I am exactly like 100%. Have I got that right? I don't know. Sometimes I get it wrong. That's okay too. But yeah, for me, my well-being is the most important thing. So then I can be and give as much as I can when I'm with others as well.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Looking after yourself so you're in the best position to look after others.
And I watch like my family are pretty hard workers, like they're farmers, and I've watched them not look after themselves. Mm-hmm. And I see, like, I watch my sister, she's a full-time accountant, has 2 kids under 3. She's the captain of the rugby team at the moment. So like I see her juggling everything, and a lot of the time she doesn't take time to herself, and then I see her get like niggles and stuff like that, and like I'm just that constant reminder of her, like, you need to take time to yourself. When you do that, like, you'll actually be a lot happier, and your body will probably really like love you for it. So and I am lucky, like my passion is my job, so I've got a lot of time to be able to do that, and not many people do. So but it is important, and I probably on that, like I've tended to get up a little bit earlier to make time for that. So me and my dog go down to the beach every single morning, and it's just me and him. And now with my mum passing, like that's my time to talk to her out loud, get in the water if it's not too bad weather, and so just making time to be able to have that.
No, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for your advice and for sharing with us. Is there any, I guess, a technology question, throwing it in there, any of the tech that you use to kind of support that wellbeing journey, or as your kind of high-performing team, any cool tech that you guys are using with your coaches to monitor your performance, improve your performance?
Yeah, we use a lot, and it's really important for us. Like, well, even I don't know if this counts for tech, but just having a phone and FaceTime for whenever we travel, that is huge. Headphones for when you don't want to talk to people, massive as well. But well, for our team, we've got like a GPS system that our trainer uses, and that's used every single day. So we're monitored, and it's not like them trying to keep tabs on what we're up to. It's more so then that we can be safe. They monitor Ks, high speed running nets, impacts, and so every single training is you're wearing a GPS, they're monitored data, and then they can slowly see trends on how we're tracking. Like the data is awesome, and sometimes it's used, well, not used for selection, but you can compare between other people in your position. We also use video analysis, so we've got like drone cameras, laptops, iPads, just so we can constantly be on watching other teams, watching ourselves, watching our trainings. Like for us, tech is huge, and I think a really massive part of why we were good at the Olympics, because we were able to do so much analysis, keep in touch with friends and family. Yeah.
Brilliant. And then we're seeing a lot of your teammates embracing TikTok in quarantine. Are we going to see you on TikTok or any post-Olympics commentary?
Oh, no. Not a dance. It's funny you say that. Our team are awesome at it, like so good. And I think if I get on board, they'll bring the quality of the TikToks down. So maybe if it's a team call, I'm 100% in, but if I can avoid it for as long as possible, then I'm going to avoid it. They're way too good for me.
They're great. Well, we'll keep following all of them. I'll pass to Katie now. Thanks so much, Sarah.
No worries. Awesome.
Cool. So my last question. So with the kind of the focus of what we do at Flint, we do kind of look at that future of workspace quite a lot. What will be automated, what won't be, and kind of where our roles kind of look in 5, 10, 15 years. So I guess for you and your role, and obviously it's your passion, where do you kind of see your career going in the next kind of like 5, 10, 15 years?
Yeah, that's a cool question. I think there's going to be so many more professional rugby players in New Zealand, women rugby players, sorry. And I think the exposure of our teams in New Zealand and around the world is going to get massive. And I think the change from when I first started in 2012 to post Olympics 2016 to pretty much post Rugby World Cup 2017. And then the more pinnacle events, the more times it's been shown on TV, the more people follow you. And then I think the Olympics again has just absolutely blown up. So I think there's going to be a lot of women rugby players who are household names in the next 15 years. And that's super, super exciting. I think the amount of young girls who want to play rugby is going to just skyrocket over the next 10 years. And I reckon our game's going to completely change because of that, because young girls will start earlier. They will be already world class by the time they get to the program because they've just left school. So I'm really excited with what our game's going to be like in the next few years, and hope I'm still involved somehow, and obviously not a player in 10 years, but maybe as a management or support staff for them.
Cool, thank you.
Alrighty, well, I think that's the last of our questions, is it not? You two, is anything else you want to ask Sarah while we've got her on the line? No? Alrighty. Hey, Sarah, we're just so thankful for you giving us your time, and I mean, there's some great lessons in there through life and just in leadership and developing one's career. Just amazing stuff. And I absolutely agree with that comment at the end about watching rugby, etc. I mean, you look at me, I mean, I'm the completely wrong demographic. I'm old and white and a guy, and I'm watching women's rugby now. Sunday, I watch the women's rugby rather than the men's. So, it's been great. So thank you so much, Sarah.
No, all good. No worries, Sam. I hope you took a few things out of it that you can use.
Yeah, thanks. Alrighty. Mate wā.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you, team. See you later.
You.
See you guys.